following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. The Friday edition of Main Street Sports Today, coming to you live from the Ag Expo in Franklin, Tennessee, site of the TSSAA State Wrestling Championships. We'll have some special guests. We'll tell you what's in store for the weekend. Now to our beloved host, the Hall of Famer and Sports Writer of the Year, Mo Patton, and the Sundrop Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao.
Well, we've made it to the end of yet another week here on Main Street Sports Today, and we are coming to you live to tape.
Shh. Don't tell our secrets.
I think they probably would have figured it out at some point.
We are here at the Ag Expo Center, and what a sight it is to see 8 wrestling matches or wrestling mats.
There you go.
Donning the floor here, and boy, it is just incredible to see this number of people in this building. It's going to be a great day. A lot of semifinals have concluded. We'll have, I guess, championship matches are tomorrow.
Correct. We have wrapped up championship semifinals in Class A, Class AA, and I take that a lot back. We are finishing up championship semifinals because Ryan Smith is waiting for his 285 semifinal match down on mat 2. But yeah, we're finishing up championship semifinals in Class AA, Class A, and girls, and then we will get into the second round of consolations after that. Yes, championship matches are set for 2 o'clock tomorrow, so come on out here. Fairview's got a couple through already. Paige's undefeated 160. Will Parcel is still undefeated, and we're hoping to speak with him here before the end of the show and just whoever else we can grab. So
it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Again, we've got a good show lined up for you as we get ready to get you ready for the weekend. The weekend in sports is going to be pretty interesting because, a lot of huge basketball games, including, of course, Tennessee-Auburn at Thompson Bowling Arena. So we'll talk a little bit about that one a little bit later. We'll also get into some of the other NCAA basketball games that are coming down the pike. We'll talk a little bit more about that stadium series that's going to take place tomorrow down in Nashville. Get this, and we'll tell you about it later, but Nashville Soccer Club is starting Sunday. Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun,
I didn't even realize it was soccer season, and yet here we are.
Yep.
So
we also got a boatload of high school basketball games to talk about that are coming up this weekend
and
as region tournament play starts.
We're definitely going to do that. Matter of fact, we might as well get into it now. And, Mo, I don't know if you've got your story pulled up, but that's what we're going to have to run off of here. And if not, I can do it.
I don't have it pulled up, but I hope I can get it pulled up.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go through. Let's go through as much of the rundown as we possibly can. So let's do it.
This is the Rundown. The Friday Rundown is brought to you by Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates. The voice of the Blue Raiders also wants to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Contact Chip at 615-542-1915 or through his website at choosechip.net. Chip Walters, proud to support local youth sports in southern Middle Tennessee.
All right, here's what I know. NCAA men's action. It is Murray State 76, Belmont 43.
Yeah, they had a kid that scored like 33 last night, I think.
Woo.
Yeah. Clearly, Belmont has not solved the Murray State riddle.
Clearly.
And everybody else in the OVC is going to be glad to get both of them out. So.
Tennessee State 92, Tennessee Tech 56, another blowout there. Austin P in overtime. I think it was 2 overtimes, actually. 68-64, I believe, was the final there in double overtime, I'm pretty sure.
Against
Southern Illinois Edwardsville. And Middle Tennessee State men 74, Marshall 65.
And apparently they had a play that made Sports Center's top 10 last night.
Nice. Well, one thing, they are now the only Division I team with both men and women undefeated.
Which Arizona team lost?
One of the two Arizona teams lost. I don't know who it was.
Nice.
And BYU and Tennessee played softball yesterday. Tennessee won that one 10-3. I don't know how they did against UC Davis. Folks, the internet here is not great.
It's trash.
So
also, Preds last night?
Preds won, yes.
In shootout, right?
In a shootout. That's correct. They won in the shootout, beat the Stars. I guess 3-2 was the technical
3-2,
final.
2-1?
Or 2-1.
I think it's 2-1.
Not sure.
Preds won. Which, again, they weren't going to lose on the night when they were retiring Pecorini's number.
Exactly.
So there you go.
All right. So let's go to high school basketball for the weekend.
Let's go. On Friday night, tonight, the Region 6 4A tournament begins all games at Summit. At 4 o'clock, Franklin plays the host Lady Spartans. At 5:30, it's Independence and Hillsboro. At 7 o'clock, it's Columbia Central and Brentwood. And at 8:30, it's Centennial and Ravenwood.
Tomorrow, boys quarterfinals.
Okay.
Just trying to make sure. This is that Region 6 tournament at Summit. Centennial Ravenwood at 3, Summit Franklin at 4:30, Independence Hillsboro at 6, Brentwood Columbia Central at 7:30.
Okay, in Region 4 3A, these girls' quarterfinals are at the higher seeds. So Tullahoma travels to Upperman. Paige is at White County. They got beat in the semifinals in the district, and so
Poor White County.
The number one team in the state has to go on the road. That'll be a good ball game. Livingston Academy comes to Lawrence County, and Cumberland County visits Lincoln County.
Again, these are at home sites. Lawrence County boys on Saturday taking the trip to White County. Tullahoma will be at Stone Memorial. Page hosting Livingston Academy, and Lincoln County is hosting Cumberland County.
Okay, in Region 5 2A girls quarterfinals tonight again. These are at the higher seeds. Fairview travels to Loretto. It's Sycamore at Summertown. Giles County's at White House Heritage, and Lewis County's at Cheatham County.
In boys quarterfinal, it's Summertown hosting White House Heritage. Loretto got Harpeth at home. Giles County travels to Cheatham County, and Lewis County is at Fairview.
Those are all tomorrow night.
Correct,
in Region 5 1A, tonight's quarterfinals at higher seed. Santa Fe goes to Moore County. Huntland hosts Richland. Eagleville goes to Collinwood, and Fayetteville visits Wayne County tonight.
In boys action, it is Cornersville at Richland, Santa Fe hosting Eagleville, Wayne County's at Moore County, Culleoka down at Fayetteville. And that's your high schools. Let's go. Saturday noon, SEC Network, Vanderbilt men at Mississippi State. It doesn't tell me. It just tells me the records.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Vanderbilt men at Mississippi State, Middle Tennessee State, women at Western, which means the men are at home against Western.
Yes, sir.
Tennessee men hosting number 3 ranked Auburn at Thompson Bowling Arena. That's a 3 o'clock ESPN. Tomorrow, Tennessee State and Belmont at 3 on ESPN Plus. Men and women, so that's a doubleheader starting at 3. And then Nashville, of course, in the Stadium Series, the Predators hosting the Lightning at 6:30. That's on TNT. So there you go. And Grizzlies at the Bulls. That's a 7 o'clock tip. I assume it's on Bally. Number 8 ranked LSU women at the Lady Vols on Sunday at 1 o'clock on ESPN2. Vanderbilt traveling down to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama.
Coming off a huge win last night over Florida, by the way.
Wow. Over ranked Florida.
Yeah.
See, I didn't get
UT
scores,
women
sorry.
beat Mississippi State last night.
Thank you. See, This is the and again, like I told you, Nashville Soccer Club and hosting Seattle. I don't know if they're hosting in Nashville or what's going on.
I think they're hosting in Florida.
Okay, that would make more sense. It's going to be really cold Sunday. But that is a 7 p.m. first touch on ESPN Plus, and that is all I have that I can find.
All the news that fits.
All the news that is news across the world. Pardon me, sir. Did you see what happened? Yeah, I did. All right. We made it through that part. Let's do. I guess our top story today is. It's a great question. It's wrestling.
It's this. Yeah. I mean, we had 9 area wrestlers that were in the semifinals today, coming out of last night's wins in opening round and quarterfinal action. And I know Landon DeSalle lost at 132, lost 7-5 in overtime. Like I said, Jarvis Little at 121 for Summit. Past that, I don't know any semifinal results. We're going to try to get Charles Pulliam with the Williamson Herald up here in a bit because he will know. And we'll see what else we got going on. Again, we've got Will Parcel from Paige on standby. I've seen Darrin Joines, Williamson County Schools Athletics Director. Might try to grab him and get a mic in front of him. But we've got some options, which is good because we don't really have a game plan.
When this one comes together, it comes together right here. So you're going to get to hear you're going to get to hear how the sausage is made today.
Right?
That's perfectly fine.
Exactly.
Hey,
yeah.
a little back.
But the sausage will be good.
It will be. So let's come back. Let's see if we can't grab somebody. And if we're not, we will talk a little bit more about this weekend's high school hoops action. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today returns after this. Main Street Sports Today presented in part by Columbia Academy, Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, Custom Stone Handlers, and of course, Zion Christian Academy. Welcome back to the TSSAA State Wrestling Tournament. Man, what a sight it is. Super excited about being here. Hate that this isn't live for you guys, but that's okay.
Blame it on the internet.
Blame it on the internet. It's not great. It's not great. So
when they're hearing it, it'll be live to them.
It's exactly right.
It's all about perception.
Kind of like a car being new to you.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just new to me. Yeah. Good news is we do have with us one of our favorite guests. You got to pull. Oh, I thought you were pulling up his theme music.
I was thinking the same thing.
I was waiting on the way up.
I don't have it on
on
this device.
North
on this remote device.
Go north.
See,
okay.
we didn't need it. We got Mr. Country Artist right here.
You did absolutely fine. Yeah.
This is the man who needs no introduction, so we won't introduce him. No.
It's Charles
I'm that one guy. Yeah.
You're that guy.
Charles Pulliam of the Williamson Herald joining us here on Main Street Sports today, and he is a wealth of knowledge, particularly on this event, because I've not really been able to keep up between between arguing with hostile parents and trying to get set up for shows.
I had no idea. That's right. Yeah.
It's been a day. But
Yes.
hey,
we're gonna get that story. Hold
I don't know
on.
if you want to go all the way into it.
No,
I don't think you do.
You really don't. Some things are better left unsaid. But Charles, Summit boys came in here with 4 semifinalists.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was like, how'd they have 4 semifinals? But different weight classes. I forgot we're at wrestling.
Yep. Hoops, wrestling. We're getting there.
I'm so confused.
This guy over here.
Independence came in with 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay. Bring us up to speed from here. I know Jarvis Little won 2-1 in double overtime over Bentley Ellison from Cleveland.
Yep. And for Finley Jamison at 145, you got a stick there. He's in as well.
Nice. Tell me about our boy, Ryan Smith, at 285.
I just watched that match down there. He battled a really tough – I mean, you're talking Ashton Davis of Cleveland here. I mean, this guy's a 2-time state champion at 220. So coming back in here, you know, he's penciled in for just about any final he gets into in any tournament. Ryan goes head-to-head with him. I think he was down about 8-2 at one point, but then gets pinned early in the second period. So Ryan Smith comes up a little short, but hey, you know, once you make it to that semifinal round, you're guaranteed a medal. I want to see him bounce back, and just like Landon DeSalle at the same time for Summit at 132, another guy where these guys just need to, you know, swallow that a little bit and come right back in and wrestle a couple more tight matches.
Absolutely. Let that be fuel the rest of the way. Landon drops a 7-5 overtime decision there at 132. So.
Well, that's when you talk about these Summit guys and you say those four, you know, it's kind of reversed on who I thought was going to be penciled into the final. You know, Landon came in at 49-1 on the season. Ryan had a great showing here so far and a great year as well. And, you know, just the senior, the lone senior coming in too. And, you know, I knew Jarvis was very capable, knew Finley was very capable, and then those guys end up punching through.
Yeah. Love to see it for Jarvis in particular.
Yeah.
You know, anytime you can get by a Cleveland guy, it's a big deal, man. So,
well, and the county's done pretty well for that. Williamson County for sure. Brentwood's knocked off a couple Cleveland guys as well.
Wyatt Gibbs last night.
Go. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Our two Summit kids, Russell Ford at 113. I'm sorry, Indy. Russell Ford at 113. Spencer Kahn at 38.
I don't have Kahn's decision, I know that, but, you know, at 138 we had a really busy setup there because we had both Kahn and Clark Vaughn on the mats at the same time. And on the girls' side, we had Emma Stevenson at Summit and Brooklyn Long.
And both of them punched through. So you got an all-county final at 138 on the girls' side.
Super fun there. But, yeah, both Kahn and Vaughn fall. Yeah, say that a bunch of times fast there.
Yeah. Wow.
But, yeah, those two kids are just sophomores coming in here. And they've met in the region final, the section final, and they've battled it out.
And they could meet in the consolation final now.
They've met 5 times this year already. I mean, these guys know each other too well. Clark Vaughn of Brentwood's won the first 3. Spencer Kahn's won the last 2. Maybe we get another match up here.
There we go. Russell Ford did win.
He did.
So
Ford's in at 113. So Ford coming in last year, he placed 3rd at 106. And now he gets a championship shot. So super great for that sophomore.
So between Summit and Indy, you've got 3 finalists.
Correct.
Okay. What about the rest of the county?
Well, that's kind of looking around. Brentwood's Wyatt Gibbs gets in. Both Ken Curtis and Jacob Clevenger of Fairview are in. Paige has 2 going in as well. Grant Hawkinson at 132, Will Parcel at 160. So in Class A, we got a couple nice ones there. The Paige boys doing a great job. They're the ones that came in here with the school record 9 qualifiers.
And they were
guys.
4th in the team standings coming out of last night. So, yeah.
So a nice showing there. And, you know, for Hawkinson and Parcel's the only senior on that team. And I know you got him lined up here too. He's going to be a great guy to talk to.
Yeah, I just met him. I've talked to his dad a couple of times, and he was kind enough to bring him over to us.
Be sure to ask him about his brother and how he's been able to one-up him a couple times here. Yeah, Chris Parcell took 5th as a senior here at the state tournament.
What did dude say in a league of their own? Well, then this would be more, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, little bragging rights in the Parcell household.
I think so. It's been a long time coming in a way here.
Yeah. You know, Charles, we were talking down at the media table earlier today. 16-man bracket. Okay, that's fine. If we're going to do that, let's do that. 3 days?
Yeah, no thanks.
I mean, our semifinal winners won their semifinals and probably went home.
Exactly.
Because they don't wrestle again until tomorrow's 2 o'clock championship rounds.
But then at the same time, you got to make weight in the morning. So it's not like I can go and have a nice meal and be like, all right.
No, you can't.
You know, I got to go and I just have to rest up and have a granola bar and hope for the best here.
Yeah, and just stay out of the kitchen.
Exactly. And that's, you know, and we're talking about some guys, you know, like a Finley Jameson's a great example. He went down to 145 to come into the traditional. So, you know, this is a kid in football season who's 160 plus.
Yeah.
So
it's almost cruel and inhuman punishment making these kids have to weigh in 3 days on a 16-man bracket.
Exactly.
I mean, for 32 it made sense. all of a sudden, not so much. And hopefully that's going to get revisited in some way, shape, or form. Because
I'd like to be a fly on the wall in the coaches' meeting tomorrow morning.
I would actually get up early for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of talking at. It's not, you don't even have to raise your hand. This is, everybody knows we're going to go boom, 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 and just keep going at it. Well, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. It's going to be a big one there.
Yeah. The only thing is, I think no matter how many coaches agree with it, getting it changed may not be as simple as, the coaches agree with it.
Mm-hmm. And I think the biggest issue is that I have is the 3-dayer. I mean, I see the 2-day being great. We rushed it last year because of obvious reasons, but to be able to roll in here and stretch this out for the way it is
I think last year folks were just glad to have a tournament under any circumstance, and so they were willing to deal with whatever had to be dealt with to have it. But I was walking in here again with Will Parcel's dad this morning, and he said, last year we ran a 16-man bracket in one day.
Exactly.
And now it's taken 3.
Yeah. And, with the state championship setup, doing 2 works. You could stretch that out and be able to highlight the matches you want to highlight really well. There's no need to rush it into it. It's like someone said if you were doing 3 days, well, we have 3 classifications, so let's do girls, A, and AA. Thursday girls, Friday A, Saturday AA. Hey, we could. You proved you can.
Yeah, that's the toughest thing about it. I mean, everybody can look back at how they did it last year and the fact that it was done. So you've got some empirical evidence there that it is doable.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say to that is you don't get this.
Exactly.
No.
There's a nice atmosphere here, and that's something to be spoken about, having everyone here. And I was actually intrigued about how it was going to seem without the Division II crowds here too. Your Baylors and Father Ryan's, teams like that come in. But this filled in pretty well.
It did fill in pretty well, and all indications, you probably went to D2 last week because
I checked it out.
You are everywhere.
I had to check it out.
But I hear that it was really nice down at MBA, and
MBA's got a fantastic setup, and it was great.
Okay, so tell me this: was it in it was in their wrestling room?
They have their own little arena set up there. It's great.
Chris has been there.
I've been there.
Chris has been there.
Okay.
Chris, who knows this much about wrestling, has been to the MBA
How many
facility.
semifinalists do we have again? Wait, what? Was that?
12 and a half. No. Seriously. But it was phenomenal. I was like, man, this is really cool because I didn't know that spotlighting the mat and all that stuff was a thing. And then I guess Summit, I don't know if they did it last year or this year or whenever they put that in, but that was super cool. But it is a really neat facility.
Centennial's been doing the spotlight for about 4 or 5 years.
That's
just
cool.
Saying.
I'm just saying. I had never seen that before because again, when I was wrestling, we had a hand-me-down mat from like I don't know, forever ago.
Matt. Yeah,
it was like that.
Yeah.
It looked like one of those gymnastic
tumbling mat.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, and we had to duct tape it together at times. So
they make mat tape. Apparently it's expensive, though, because everybody pulls it off and they stick it to the mat so that they can use it over and over again.
I don't know about that.
I'm not sure about that either, especially in this economy.
Hey, dude, our mat was like 12 years old. Do you think we could afford mat tape?
Well, and it was probably one of those that weighed as much as a car,
oh,
too,
my
right?
gosh.
Yeah.
It took 5 of us to carry one of the 3 sections.
Yikes.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Those have transformed a little bit over the years.
Slightly.
Man.
Charles, let's touch a little bit on basketball.
Yeah, there's a few basketball games going on here,
huh? and a few of them just down the road.
Oh,
as soon as we leave here.
Oh, man.
As soon as you leave here, it says we're not leaving.
Great region quarterfinal action today and tomorrow over at Summit High School. I mean, I wish I could be hanging out in 2 spots for sure. Those quarters, this is winter go home basketball time, and it brings out a different flavor for sure. And oh man, lots of great games lined up.
Oh, absolutely. Looking forward to a few of those, like you said, tonight on the girls' side, tomorrow night on the boys' side over at Summit. Should be a lot of fun.
Who are you looking to be? Is there a surprise team out there?
Oh, man, that's a tough question. You know, on the girls' side, I'll put it this way. I want to just watch Ravenwood and Summit go at it, because that's super fun to see those two. And I've been able to see them a couple times, man, and I'd love to see that matchup, but I know the way seeding works, and it could be a challenging one, but that'd be a good one to see again. Guys' side, oh, man. The District 12 4A's just kind of had a run over the 11 4A guys for a while, but watching what Franklin did in the district tournament, I think they can come in and they're going to take somebody out. But I don't know who's going to be.
Well, I mean, they would see Ravenwood in the second in the semifinals of the region, and then potentially you have another Columbia Central Independence matchup in the semifinals there.
Oh, man.
I tell you what, we had Nick Campbell on yesterday on Coach's Corner, and Central opens against Brentwood, and the one thing that we didn't mention, while Brentwood and Central haven't seen each other, Troy Bond is quite familiar with Central, having coached against them when he was at Oakland for years. And so I wonder how much of an advantage Brentwood has with his familiarity with that Central Lions, certainly with their personnel.
I mean, this is a team that started the season, 12, 13, and 0, that Brentwood team. They're no slouch.
No. And they've, granted they don't have Jake Brock right now, but they've had 4 or 5 days of practice without Jake Brock to truly try to get it. And they were in games without him. And he's a consummate great coach on the sideline anyway. You're going to see him in the huddles, first guy off the bench, high-fiving dudes. He's working with that young team the way they are, and that's a young team. I mean, Jake Brock and Davis White, there's only 3 seniors there, but those 2 are the leaders, and they're still leading even though Jake's not playing.
And I'm interested to see what Troy cooks up without Brock in the mix. So it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be fun all weekend long. I'm sure you can –
Speaking of stretching out tournaments, the region tournament, can we talk about that a little bit?
Listen, you're not going to find any arguments on this show, I can tell you.
We wrap up on Thursday, right?
We do wrap up on Thursday,
Oh, man.
And that's on the state, though, right? They set those dates.
I'm not sure who sets them, but whoever sets them, a long talk with them should be had.
Well, and look at the way the district's set up. I thought that was kind of nice.
Summit did it right in 3 days.
Doing like, the boy-girl semifinal setup. I mean, that's
great.
cool. Do that, and you could still start late. Start on a Thursday, start on whenever. You could stretch it out a little bit, but there's no need to be playing 1 game on Wednesday and 1 game on Thursday.
No, that's insane. It is what it is, man. We get what we get, and we don't pitch a fit.
Well, not necessarily.
We can talk around it, right? Yeah.
It's tournament basketball. Every atmosphere is good. Charles, thank you so much. We appreciate it. As always, phenomenal stuff, man.
Yeah. Enjoy your combo with Mr. Undefeated coming up here.
Looking forward to it. Look, I want to know what his menu is, his post-tournament menu.
It's going to be fun. We'll be back on Main Street Sports today. Y'all stick around. Really might as well just let Mo bring us back. The only time you're going to hear my voice is when we're coming back, because I know this much about wrestling.
Well, I don't want you to feel left out.
I appreciate it, because we have a special guest up here, and buddy, let me tell you, the next wrestling match that I cover will be my second. So,
well, I think I have taught you that at least it is wrestling and not wrestling. So
we figured that part out.
You being from Alabama, that's a step in the right direction for sure. Maurice Patton, Chris Yao, JP Plant here on Main Street Sports today, and we are now joined by soon-to-be Class A 160-pound undefeated state champion Will Parcells. Will, I'm not trying to throw any bad juju on you, but what, at 61, 62 and 0 now?
62 and 0, sir.
62 and 0, sir. Listen to him. He's even nice. Man, congratulations.
Thank you.
What's that been like, the and O part of this?
I mean, I kind of started the year and I was like, I didn't want to lose because last year I lost and I don't like to lose. I mean, you learn a lot from losses, but I don't like to lose.
You know plenty, huh?
Yes, sir.
And I guess after a point, I mean, regular season, if you lose, you it's one of those I either win or I learn. Like you said, you got no learning to do at this point. Being a senior, I would imagine this is a great way to try to end it. Can't ask for more than this, I don't guess.
Yes, sir.
Great opportunity tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Who's the guy?
Logan Heckert.
From Sycamore?
He's a returning state champ.
He's a returning state champ at
132 last year, so he made quite a jump.
That is a big jump. Where were you last year?
Last year I was at 170, but the year before I was at 38. So I made a big jump from 38 to 70. And I started the year at 82, but I was a light 82. And I cut down to 70, realized Kodiak Kennedy was there. And
Not that you were running from anybody, you just kind of made a decision.
To drop to 60, and I think that was what my natural body weight was. My brother told me that he made the regret of not dropping weight, but enjoying himself at 82 when he wrestled, and he ended up taking 5th. But he told me don't make the same mistake he did, so I dropped down to 62, and I feel good. I mean, I'm constantly cutting weight, but once I'm down there, I'm down there.
You know, how much of a motivation for you is, you know, Chris's career and his 5th place finish his senior year and that kind of thing? Not just out here, but at the house.
Everything. He always pins it against me. He goes, talk to me when you place at state. And he goes, talk to me when you do this or do that. So I gotta prove him wrong.
You got some talking to do, huh?
We both go back and forth, but he told me that he gave me a phone call right after, and he said he was proud of me and that I broke his record. He held the most wins in a season, but I broke it. He had 55. He was holding it, and he said, I'm glad that you broke it at anyone else.
That's awesome. Will he be here tomorrow?
Yes, he will. My dad's actually driving up, I believe, right now to go get him from college.
Where is he?
He's at Chattanooga.
Okay. It's not a bad drive. What do you know about Heckert? Have you seen him at all this year?
I've watched him wrestle a little bit. He's a solid wrestler. He's good in top, bottom, and neutral, but I'm going to take it to him. I'm here to win.
What do you feel like you're good at? Obviously,
All
of it.
Really good at top.
You know, 62-0. Has there been a match for you where you felt like, you know, maybe I can run this thing all the way out? Was there any one match that just kind of solidified that for you, that going undefeated was a real thing?
Honestly, I'd have to go with, I want to say the match today. I mean, I don't normally get nervous for matches, but I got nervous because it was semifinals and I never made it that far in state. I only made it to the blood rounds my sophomore year, big school. But I knew that if I just took it to him, then I could win. But I went out there and right off the bat, I just picked him up and I was like, I got this.
Dropping down from large schools to small schools, how much of a difference do you feel like that has made for you and for this program this year? I mean, you guys brought 9 guys into the state, the most that Paige had advanced into the state ever. Big deal?
I mean, it is a big deal, but I mean, I look at big school and I look at small school and I say that's in some of the brackets, the small school brackets give the big school brackets a run for their money. I mean, if you look at, like my bracket at that, there was supposed to be 2 returning state champs and there's 5 medalists in mine. And if you look at the 160 bracket, I believe there's only a few. I mean, not at that same level. There's no returning state champs there, but I mean, it's a dogfight. They say small school and big school, but at big school's better, or small school's worse, or small school's easier. But I just see it as it's kind of like a bracket. I mean, if you're there, you've earned it. So.
You were at state at Chattanooga last year.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference been between being down there and being back here, being in your backyard, that kind of thing?
I like the environment. I like all eyes on me. I feel like I wrestle better like that. I mean, my sophomore year, I had a bunch of eyes on me. No one knew me. I came in, I beat a Bradley Central kid first round. I took 4th in my region. He had won his region. And then I climbed all the way back, but I lost at blood rounds. But I just like the environment. I mean, Chattanooga was level. No one could really see anything. It was kind of just you and your coach and the people that were warming up, kind of like waiting because COVID. But, I mean, I like the environment.
Man, I love that jacket. I told him off the air. I said, what thrift store did you buy that jacket in? And he said, oh, no, this is a hand-me-down from the old school, from a former wrestler. So
Dylan Davis.
You got
Dylan Davis, currently an assistant. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
He's a beast.
You got to love that. I mean, that is some of the best looking swag from back in the day, man. That it's straight out of the mid 2000s.
No doubt.
Or even late 90s.
Maybe late 90s.
That's definitely old school.
I mean,
right
he gave it to me and
there.
he said, you better medal with it. He goes, you can give it right back to me.
It works
like,
out.
all right.
There you go. Well, it might be going in a trophy case here at some point.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Or I can hand it down, make it a hand-me-down.
I was about to say
state
that would be the coolest thing, right? You pick the guy, and it's kind of like the what's the jersey that Ole Miss gives out?
Oh, the Chucky Mullins,
Chucky
number 31.
Mullins. I mean, that would be super cool, wouldn't it? I don't know. Maybe you guys got a new tradition over at Paige. That's cool.
I think so.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for taking some time with us.
Will Parcel, 62-0, going for an undefeated season for Paige tomorrow in the 160-pound Class A championships. Championship matches will start at 2 o'clock out here at the Ag Expo. Come check him out. Also, teammate Grant Hawkinson is going for a state championship at 132 as well. So a couple of Paige guys representing, and look forward to seeing you. Thank you for spending some time with us here on Main Street Sports today.
Once again, Main Street Sports today brought to you in part by Custom Stone Handlers, our friends at Columbia Academy, Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, and Zion Christian Academy. We are coming to you from the Williamson County Ag Expo Center, where the TSSAA State Individual Wrestling Championships are taking place. It's been a lot of fun all day. You've heard a lot of wrestling talk, and we'll probably hear a little bit more, but also we'll get into some more region basketball and perhaps some upcoming spring sports. So it's exciting because we are joined by Williamson County Athletics Director Darrin Joines. Mr. Joines, thanks for taking some time with us, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. And listen, really appreciate what you guys do, not only covering all our sports, but I feel like in the past couple of years, and I know Mo's had a lot to do with this too, and Charles from the Williamson Herald, wrestling gets some great coverage. It really does, and it should. I've always said, when there's certain sports that when the game's over or the match is over, you have people there waiting to interview them, but it doesn't mean those other sports aren't just as important. So obviously we've made a big jump in wrestling, and we appreciate your coverage of it because these young men and young women certainly deserve it.
Well, we appreciate you acknowledging that, Darrin. As County Athletics Director, you got to be happy to have this thing back in your backyard, I think, after the one-year departure because of pandemic-related issues, I guess. This time last year, cars were driving on the floor out here, and folks were sticking their arms out the door and getting vaccinations, and so it wasn't exactly available for what we're doing here today and yesterday and tomorrow, but it's got to be nice to have it back, where, for some of us, where it belongs.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a great venue to have it. We loved having it in our individual schools, but it really didn't do it justice in terms of everybody being able to watch, being as accessible like you're talking about as it needs to be. So I don't want to jinx us, but this feels sort of normal, doesn't it?
As normal as anything feels anymore, I guess. So, yeah, and it looks like some of your programs have really, kind of taken advantage of being at home. Again, we just got done talking with Will Parcel from Paige. He and teammate Grant Hawkinson are in the finals tomorrow. Fairview has a couple in the finals. Summit's got 2 in the finals. Independence has 1 in Class AA. You've got 2 girls that are going to be wrestling each other for a state championship. So, I mean, Williamson County has really stepped up on the mat here over the last
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. I think we had something like 20. We had 69 here, I believe it was. 20 in the semis, and I think we have now 11 in the final. And again, you're talking about that. And not only is it an all WilCo final for the girls, your coverage area. We got Indy Summit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited about that. And listen, girls wrestling, I was talking to Charles about this a couple days ago. I believe we had 6 who were here last year, and this year we have 15. So certainly proud of those young ladies as well as these young men.
Girls wrestling has really taken off across Tennessee. You know, we had the first girls state duals championship in the country a couple of weeks ago out here, and just the support for girls wrestling from the top down has really been impressive to see. And talking to, you know, Mark Reeves, the assistant executive director of the TSSAA, about the importance of the girls duels, just the team concept of wrestling that the boys were getting, the girls deserve to get that as well. And just, again, the support for girls wrestling has really been something to see.
Yeah, I'm proud of that too, and I appreciate Mark. He just does a wonderful job with his duties there at TSSAA. Obviously, wrestling's kind of his wheelhouse. That's his background in terms of coaching. So we love it. We really do. To me, it's about opportunities. The more opportunities you can provide for young people, the better. You know, you take something that's happening today that I'm excited about. From here, I'm going to head over to Franklin Lanes and watch our first ever middle school bowling championship. So we've added bowling at the middle school level. Our thought is, hey, there's some young men, young women that don't have a chance to maybe play some other sports. Let's give them some opportunities to play. So we're excited about that.
You know, it's talking about girls wrestling taking off here in the state of Tennessee. Coming up this spring, girls flag football.
Yeah.
Man, Williamson County being the pilot program for that in the state of Tennessee, that's really huge. And, you know, when we heard about Alabama doing it and reached out, we thought, okay, this is good. You know, we should think about doing that. Oh, we're gonna be doing that. So that way, it was really cool to hear that you guys were taking the lead on that. And just recently had the coaches meeting. How did that go? Is everything kind of set up and ready for that?
It really did go well. And you know, something that I'm excited to announce is it's actually going to be a 2-year pilot with WCS. So we were talking about doing it a year. It turns out it's going to be a 2-year deal. So I think that makes a lot of sense for a lot of different reasons. Doesn't mean that other counties won't be able to get in here and do that, but like anything, you do it 1 year, maybe you're like, hey, I wish we would have changed this and changed that. So we're going to have a couple of different years, which we're totally excited about. But the meeting went well. We had Josh Corey of the Titans. He was there at the meeting. We had a couple of representatives from NFL Flag. One young lady, Phoebe, and I apologize, I struggle to say her last name, Schechter. She actually not only works for the NFL in terms of their flag football, she was an intern for the Buffalo Bills working with tight ends a couple of years ago. So that's kind of cool. She's a part of it. We have on every team, we have at least one coach who's a part of the tackle football staff. So we're excited about that. We're getting at least, I think we have 4 or 5 females who are going to serve as assistants, because the point is this. We want to make sure that females understand how the game works. Obviously, football is something that you typically see males involved with, but this is going to, again, broaden that scope a little bit when you're talking about more people being a part of it. And my prediction is it ends up being the next sanctioned sport. And
there are a lot of females who understand the game as well as males who don't get an opportunity, but this might give them a chance to show, hey, I can scheme up an offense just as well as anybody else. You know, you never know what you might get, and it's really interesting to see how this can become something even bigger for not just Williamson County, but across the state. I'm looking forward to it.
You know, I was talking to Emily Crowell with the TSSAA yesterday. I asked a couple of ladies out here watching girls wrestling. It's like, you know, if there had been girls wrestling when you were in high school, is that something you would have done? And Emily said, you know, Emily's a Harpeth Hall graduate. So she said, you know, I was never really exposed to wrestling in school, so, I mean, I don't know. She said, but if there had been flag football, I'd have been all over that.
Yeah.
So I think the level of excitement, not just amongst these young ladies who are going to have the opportunity to play, but among a lot of women that didn't have that opportunity. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be interesting to see who shows up at some of these ball games, man.
I think you're going to see some decent crowds.
I do too. You know, one of the things we're going to try to do, and you guys know this guy, and you know he'll do it. The coach at Ravenwood's going to be Will Hester. Well, I can assure you Will Hester and his assistant is Jessica Mancini, very successful soccer coach there. I will be shocked if come that first game on March 27th, if they don't have a really, really, really nice crowd there, and like you said, at other places too.
Who are some of your other coaches? Is Chris Hughes?
Chris Hughes, that's right. Chris Hughes is involved.
Well, I mean,
Mr. Flag Football, right?
I was going to say, he shouldn't be allowed to be involved.
Yeah, he's kind of a ringer.
He's a ringer, isn't he?
But I mean, I felt like he was. I just wanted confirmation, basically.
Yes.
But who are your other head coaches?
So you got Brentwood, you got Gabe Evans, Centennial, Matt Kreisky, who's head football coach there on the tackle side. Fairview, talked about Chris Hughes. Franklin, Donnie Webb. There's a guy you guys know about. Okay. That's right.
Drug him off the couch.
That's right. Independence, Andre Flowers. Okay. Nolensville, Pat Curran. Paige, Charles Rathbone. Ravenwood, Will Hester. Summit, Tay Martin.
So four head coaches, 4 tackle football head coaches.
That's correct.
Is that right?
That's correct.
It's pretty awesome.
And really, you talk about Donnie, there's 5, right?
I mean, in reality, absolutely.
Pretty much.
It's pretty cool to see. And I saw some video from that coaches meeting, and I saw Charles and a couple other guys like, okay, so they got the football coaches out there doing a lot of great stuff here. And you've got to have that. You've got to have some working relationship with your boys tackle football team and the girls flag football, because it's still football.
You're right, and I think so. My goal, honestly, when that started, I feel like as much as anything that gives the league legitimacy. Mm-hmm. You know, when you're just talking, doesn't mean somebody else couldn't do it, but I think for the young ladies who are thinking about playing, I think that has increased the number, because they look at it and go, okay, this is not some novelty. This is something that we're going to take serious.
And we're not just second rate, and we get the junior high offensive line coach or whatever,
or the home ec teacher or
whatever.
Yeah,
right. Absolutely. You know. So that's pretty awesome.
Not that home ec teachers can't know football. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But like you said, it just speaks to the legitimacy of the whole situation when a guy who coached in a state championship game a couple of months ago is coaching your team.
It's going to be awesome, man. Well, we're looking forward to that, and looking forward to the Region 6 hoops tournaments that are coming up, and looking forward to all of high school sports, winter sports kind of concluding now, getting into the final tournament plays, and spring sports getting ready to start up. I know baseball and softball are practicing, and
so are tennis and track and boys soccer. Yeah, because there's no rest for the weary.
That's right.
Not for us either.
I'm sure you guys noticed this. In fact, I didn't notice it initially until Mark Wilkins out at Independence said something to me about it, and maybe this is the first time you're realizing it too. The matchups on the boys and girls are the exact same matchups. The seating's just different. Did you guys realize that?
Didn't realize that.
I did realize that the same 2 schools were eliminated, but I did not catch that all the matchups were identical.
How about that?
That's pretty crazy. I tell you what, I am looking for, and we talked about it with Charles Pulliam a couple of segments ago. I'm really kind of looking forward to that Brentwood-Columbia Central boys matchup on Saturday night down at Summit. So So I assume you'll be doing the Ag Expo to Summit thing tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously this is going to be the primary focus. It's a state championship.
Sure.
I mean, it's got to be the focus. But now that we've got it where the championships are at 2, you know, that allows a little bit easier to go to both, at least at some level. But I'll be here until this thing wraps up with our young men and young women.
Well, we appreciate everything that you've done to get all of these tournaments off. I know it can't be easy, and I know you got a lot of help.
I tell you, we appreciate the district and region scheduling that you guys did. The 3-day districts for 11 4A and 12 4A, and the central sites for the region quarterfinals makes our jobs a little bit easier.
Yes, it does.
and I know nobody cares about that, but it's still.
Well, today is the sausage making show, so if you're going to talk about it, today's
the day, huh?
Talk about it. But Darrin, thank you, man. We appreciate it as always. You do such a great job. We really thank you for everything you've done.
Well, thank you guys. Listen, without you guys promoting what we're doing, it wouldn't be the same. So thank you a lot.
Absolutely. All right, when we come back, SEC Media Days, first time it hasn't been in Hoover ever. They have announced the coaches' lineups, and I'll tell you who's going to kick off SEC Media Days on the other side of the break. Stick around. Welcome back in as I'm living right here.
They're right there.
Not doing the shopping cart.
Nope. Right.
Not making pizza. They got food here.
Nope. Right here. This is where you live.
Stay in the box.
That's it.
Stay in the box.
Thank you, Hitch.
Welcome back in. Main Street Sports today. Having a great time here at the Williamson County Ag Expo Center for the State Wrestling Individual Championships. It's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of great guests, and if you have any questions about what's going on in wrestling,
then you've not been listening.
Well, if you're just joining us now or whatever, go back and listen to the first half, because that's we don't even have halftime today. It's been a great show,
it's all
man.
big one
We've
show.
had a lot of fun hanging out with everyone today. So thank you to all of our great guests, and looking forward to continuing high school sports coverage throughout the weekend, including those region tournaments we just talked about. So,
yeah, Chris, one of our guests, 62-0. Is that right, Mo?
62-0.
Doesn't matter what you're playing. If you're 62-0,
pretty darn good.
It's amazing.
Hey,
and it doesn't matter who you've played.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that small school and large school makes a difference. If you're 62-0,
right.
you've wrestled some big schools, you've wrestled some great kids, and 62-0.
And I guarantee you this: if somebody says that to him, I guarantee you Will Parcells will say, "Bring them."
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Hey,
We got a Matt.
matter of fact, we're gonna be done at 2:00 tomorrow.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere.
Let's stick around.
I'm already awake. You know,
Let's stick around.
seriously, there has been some talk about.
I'm here for it.
There has been talk about a tournament of champions, maybe bringing in the two finalists in each of the classifications or something like that.
Let's do D2.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like, do you not like making money? Because
why ain't you done it yet?
Well, the weights are the same. To your point,
absolutely.
so it's not like you've got it's not like football or basketball, team sports where
if you're gonna have the third day and you're gonna end at 2:00,
bring
prime
these guys
time.
back.
I don't know why you're not doing it at 3. You'll be done by 5.
Yeah. All right, let's come back in here at 7 and throw the top 2 from Class A and the top 2 from Class AA at each weight. Let's get them back out
take
there.
these
The
8
mats are
mats.
out.
Take these eight mats and put like 2 in the middle.
Let's go.
I mean, and get your spotlights going.
Let's go.
I'm in.
Little PA system.
All right. Well, the director isn't here, but I bet we can get somebody to make a suggestion. All right, listen. SEC Football Media Days is not in Hoover, and I think it's maybe the first time it's ever not been in Hoover.
To my knowledge.
At least the media day as we know it.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't even know when they started this thing.
Really came into its own when Nick Saban.
No.
I mean, it was big before. You're right.
It was big.
But
in the
I guess
early
the fans coming in.
The fans coming in started probably late 90s.
Yeah, mid-90s, because I remember covering it in the mid-90s, specifically in 95 and 96 down in Hoover. And that was right after the 92 national championship for Alabama. So there was a guy with the ring hat.
Oh, yeah.
In the hotel and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
So it's interesting that they're not going to have it in Hoover, that it is going to be in Atlanta. I assume probably.
It's got to be at the College Football Hall of Fame.
That's what I was thinking.
That makes sense.
That's the only thing I could think of.
Got to be.
Or the World Congress Center, which is right next door, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all right there together. Yeah, they're all literally the same building.
You can get to all of them.
All right.
In the indoors.
You can go on Monday and come to the house because it ain't getting no better.
Uh-oh.
It ain't getting
no
now,
next
better.
year you're talking about 14 teams.
There's going to be 3 people on Monday.
On Monday?
This is this August, right?
July.
Or July, rather.
18th.
But this summer.
This summer.
Okay.
Coming this summer.
Okay,
to a screen near you.
Okay, hold up. Kirby Smart's got to be on the first day, right?
All right. No, he's not. But
oh, wow.
What? He's on day 3.
Jimbo and
How
Nick
many
are got to be
days
on
is
the
it?
first
There
day.
are 4 days.
4 days, and the national championship coach is on day 3. So he's not at the beginning. He's not at the end. He's just some Joe.
He's in the middle.
Yeah.
Stuck in the middle with I won't tell you yet.
Yeah. Okay.
But when you hear who he's stuck with, you're going to be like, geez, they don't like this guy. Anyway, they did it for a reason. I'll tell you why. But day 1.
Day 1.
We're kicking it off.
Brian Harsin.
That's why I was dancing. Brian Kelly.
Oh.
Kicking it off.
Will he be bringing his family
His family?
His family. Kicking it off with Brian Kelly. Right after Brian Kelly, folks, it is the Lane train.
Oh, boy.
Lane Kiffin rolls in.
That thing goes from 0 to 100, doesn't it?
Followed by the quote machine himself, Eli Drinkwitz. You can leave after day 1 and we'll have been entertained all day long.
I don't know,
it
man.
Will be enough entertainment on day 1 just to kick it.
I'm not. I don't see the entertainment value of Brian Kelly, but I mean.
Hello. He's going to get up there and talk like this or some stupid crap.
Well, I mean,
and then he's going to say something stupid.
Well, here's the thing. He's not intentionally entertaining.
This is what I'm saying, though.
You're right.
That's why it's all the more entertaining.
We're just going to make fun of him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which is way more fun than.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, on top of all of that, then you get the quote machine Drinkwitz at the end, who's going to give you plenty of one-liners like Mitch Hedberg. It's going to be phenomenal. Day 2, they're going to kick it off with Nick Saban. Then you get another great quote machine. The all-time greatest quote machine in college football, even
Stark
over
Vegas.
Steve Spurrier.
Mike Leach?
Mike Leach.
Okay.
0 question. He will answer any
question. You go from
question.
Saban to Leach?
Saban to Leach. Woo. It will be the most 180 turn in the history of sports. Then you've got Beamer and Clark Lee.
Okay.
That's a weird day.
I'm going to tell you what. I'm not sure putting Clark Lee at the end of any day is a good idea.
It won't be nobody there.
Well, they'll be asleep.
Well, I mean, I don't know who's sticking around to talk to Clark Lee.
That may not necessarily be a bad thing.
Okay.
Hang on.
Stay under the radar, you know. Don't focus on the negatives.
Wednesday, July 20th.
Day 3.
Day 3.
Okay.
Kirby Smart, Sam Pittman, Billy Napier, and Mark Stoops.
Okay.
Now, there will be some
Napier
intrigue.
will be good.
There will be some intrigue with Napier.
Yeah.
Because he's not been there.
Because he's new.
With Pittman, you got the turnaround that he's made at Arkansas.
He's a fun one.
Stoops just had one of the best recruiting classes in the history of Kentucky, and he's got the long-term contract. But you put those 3.
Okay. Now, are Napier and Kelly Are they the only 2 new coaches this year?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's
then that leaves Heupel,
Harsin, and Fisher for day 4. That'll be a great day too.
That's it. Not a bad day.
Okay.
Not a bad day.
So here's my question.
Uh-huh.
We had this tweet the other day about what house you would want to be at. If you were in a house, if you had to pick a house, which house are you picking?
Of those 4 days?
And why? Because maybe it's not a party. Maybe you're just having dinner. If I'm having dinner, I want to have dinner with Mike, with
Leach and Saban.
Leach, Saban, and Clark Lee. Because I think Clark Lee's a very intelligent human.
That's a good one. Lane Kiffin's hard to go against.
But if I'm having a party,
yeah,
it's house number 1 or 4, but probably 1.
Yeah.
Harsin, though, depends on who he brings. His wife or his assistant.
Or his girlfriend. Goodness. Or
they bring them both.
Oh, yeah, I think day 2 is the group I'd rock with.
That's a great group. I mean,
just for Saban and Leach.
Yeah.
And anything you get out of Beamer and Lee is kind of bonus.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, but Leach will answer any question. It doesn't matter if you ask him about what is the best first dance song for a wedding. He will have an answer.
And he'll answer questions you didn't ask.
Sometimes. So, I mean, if I'm being honest here, it's a pretty great day on day 1. After that, it kind of, who knows? As far as entertainment factor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. This wasn't ever meant to be entertaining. It wasn't meant to be what it has become.
Right.
And I don't think Atlanta is going to give you
what Hoover
did. And that may be the reason they're leaving.
Hoover is a little out of hand.
It's out of hand.
And I mean, I've not been since like 2008, I guess was the last time I went to SEC Media Days. But here's the thing. Nobody wants to hear this. You kind of said it, but what SEC Media Days were designed for is no longer a purpose that it serves.
You don't need it anymore.
Because we went to load up on stories to run in the run-up to the season. Now, everything that you're writing is for that 24-hour news cycle right there. And like you said, you don't need it with the internet and Zoom meetings and that kind of thing. But a lot of times that was the only access you had to those coaches.
Preseason.
Yeah, basically. So
at least before practice started.
So it's a different situation than it was originally designed for. But, you kind of have to go because because FOMO.
Well, it's not just that. It's even having it is really useless for the SEC other than it's promoting their brand.
It's exposure.
This is nothing more than let me take up 72 hours or 86, 96.
96.
96
you said
hours
there would be no math.
Of ESPN's programming.
Yeah.
Well, no other conference's media day does anything, comes close to this in terms of the exposure.
And they try.
Yeah, they try.
And I know that ACC and Big Ten all have their studio shows, and the Big Ten's is not bad, but
other than being the Big Ten.
But they don't have Paul Feinbaum. And Feinbaum sits there all day long.
Or Feinbaum's listeners.
Right. I mean, it is a rabid pack of crazy people who cannot get enough.
Which makes for good television.
If you go to Alabama and you listen to sports talk radio, half of every show is college football, 365 days a year. It blows my mind how it's even possible. How do you do that?
Yep.
We can't even do that. Oh, you're just going to throw a microphone on anybody.
I told you I would. We are joined by Jarvis Little Sr.
Okay.
Father of
the
120-pound Class AA finalist Jarvis Little Jr. of Summit. Now, Senior doubles as the sound guy for Summit home matches, and I told y'all what he did.
Oh,
the
he
last
played.
time.
this is the
Tone Loke.
little
Yeah,
toe
he
loke.
played a little
Yeah.
Tone Loke
There you go.
in our honor when I walked in. So
Let's do it.
That's what we're trying to do. When we see celebrities coming to the building, we like to set the stage right. So that's what we do. We try to set an atmosphere at Summit.
well, hey, I just wanted to. I appreciate the atmosphere, but I just wanted to congratulate you and wish you, because I've been a wrestling dad. Wish you luck.
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Hey, I'm already having a heart attack. But
His stomach is in all the knots.
that's why I'm taking my laps right now, guys.
Keep
trying to
taking
get down
them.
trying to get down to weight.
I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate
Let's
you,
do it.
man.
All right.
Oh man, that's funny. I am looking forward to tomorrow to taking coverage or watching your coverage, because Main Street Preps, MainStreetMurray.com. You're not going to find any better coverage or timely, comprehensive coverage.
Hold up on the timely.
Well, who knows?
As best you can. I was awake early this morning, and
At 2:30.
I got a little notification on my phone, and the light goes up, and so in a dark room you're going to see that. I look over, and there's a tweet from @MoPatton_sports about wrestling coverage from the previous day. 2:30 in the morning.
He was back here this morning.
Yeah, that's how hard this guy's working to cover wrestling.
Grinding, baby.
Grinding. He is a grinder. So, Mo, there may be people that may not know exactly where to find all your coverage, but let them know.
Well,
Take an
again,
opportunity.
At @MoPatton_sports on Twitter. I've been trying to tweet out some videos and that kind of thing as best we can under the circumstances.
You have to go stand outside the doors.
Yeah,
it's cold out there, by the way.
on one foot, and that kind of thing.
Left arm in the air.
Also at First Takedown, which we did not have a podcast today. We'll try to get one up here.
I think we got plenty of wrestling coverage on this show, though, so
Yeah.
you may just have to repurpose this.
There you go. There we go.
We can do all that.
But yeah, and again, at the website at MainStreetMurray.com, we had some preliminary coverage coming into the tournament. We had a wrap up from last night. A little something on some girls wrestling with the two girls from Columbia Central and the German exchange student Vanessa Henkel from Spring Hill, who didn't fare so well yesterday but did win by pin coming through the consolations earlier today. So we'll have more on that and on tomorrow's finalists. So continue to check that out.
Let's take a quick break here, because when we come back on give you the final thoughts on the Stadium Series that's coming up in, I guess, about 24 hours or so.
A little more.
It's cold out there, y'all. Yeah, that's okay. You can ting on that one. It's fine. So yeah, we'll be back on Main Street Sports Today. Y'all stick around. Welcome back in to Main Street Sports Today, coming to you from the Williamson County Ag Expo Center, where the TSSAA State Wrestling Championships are taking place. They will conclude tomorrow. Make sure you are following at @MoPatton_sports for all your coverage as best you can under the circumstances. He'll go outside and stand on one leg occasionally and get a tweet out, and we appreciate that. Finally, oh wow, it's 6:30 tomorrow night.
Oh,
6:30 tomorrow night. You will see.
It's going to be good and cold.
Good and cold. You will be able to see the 2022 Stadium Series game featuring the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. We talked more at length yesterday with Pete Weber about it. If you missed that, you can go back and listen to Pete and that conversation. We'll also talk to him about last night's ceremonies honoring the great Pekka Rinne ahead of their game with the Dallas Stars. Again, Nissan Stadium hosting at Tampa Bay and Nashville in the Stadium Series. These, we mentioned, I guess Pete mentioned Corey Perry, who was
public enemy number one.
Is public enemy number one. He
from his time with the Sharks.
No, the Stars.
Stars, my bad. Excuse me.
Yeah, I was going to say he's played in 3 outdoor hockey games, but he's played in 1 outdoor hockey game and 39 seconds of another, because that's how long it took him to elbow Ryan Ellis during the Winter Classic 2 years ago that I was at. And the old turn and burn. That was a great day.
To Dallas. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Oh.
But
that's one of those things you do once, right?
You do it to say you did it, but it was worth it. The Winter Classic was worth it. Now, granted, we went there on Friday, and we got there on New Year's morning at 12:12. We pulled into the parking lot of the hotel. That's exciting.
Yeah, something's going on. I can't figure out what though.
I'm not sure.
Because there's wrestling on. 6 mats, and some of them are obscured by the bout board here that we're set up behind, because the internet is best here.
We thought.
Well, I'm pretty sure it is best here.
Well, we got a window, so I guess.
Yeah.
But he will be playing in this one, and again, as Pete said, I think he's going to get a rousing welcome.
People have long memories, don't they?
Hockey fans do specifically, despite all of the head injuries that we've all procured over the years. On the Athletic, Lightning favored money line at -150, Preds at +125. Total goals over under 5.5. What do you got? 5.5 goals.
Total?
5.5 total.
There's usually a lot of goals in the classics, right?
There are for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess it's because it's harder to see the.
Yeah, it's a different atmosphere.
3-2 would be the under.
That's correct.
Yeah, I'm going over.
I think I'm going to take the over.
I'm going over too. I don't think there's any chance that there's under 5.5.
Yeah.
You guys remember us talking about the Smashville jerseys, the navy with the gold stripe and Smashville across. Both of them are kind of go with the team nicknames on the jerseys, but they're not great. And well, if I tell Mo who made them, he will.
I will understand.
He will understand. 3-stripe life, baby.
What color are the Preds?
They're navy.
Navy.
But it's almost like a shiny velour.
Okay.
It's weird.
Tell me when the last Adidas uniform was made that you liked.
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Boom.
The white Tennessee with the black outline of the orange, so you could actually see the numbers. That's probably the last one from '96 or whatever. And the Lightning will have a big bolt on their jersey. So no,
Bazinga!
I lied. I'm sorry. It says bolts across the jersey.
It says bolts.
Okay, it says bolts. It's not a bolt. Okay,
gotcha. And
semantics.
What's the show?
What's Big Bang Theory?
Yes. I mean,
our
the
whole
Sheldon
universe was in. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
The Bazinga.
That would be awesome if it was. That was the jersey. Oh man. Weather is expected to be about low 40s around puck drop, and it's probably not going to get any better.
At 6:30, what would make you think it will?
Well, it's funny because this week we've seen the temperature rise at weird times. So
after dark?
Yeah.
I think it's a good temperature, though.
Oh, yeah, it's
Is
perfect.
there any precipitation?
No
forecasted?
precipitation through.
Listen, be perfect.
They did this at the perfect time because Sunday's supposed to be in the 60s, and then all week next week is going to be sunny and like 65 to 70 all week long. It's going to be perfect Mo weather.
Perfect Mo weather. Next week, not Saturday.
And we're going to be inside watching basketball.
Yes.
It's all right. I'll just know what it's like outside.
Maybe we'll find a softball game to get to.
There you go.
C-State may be home.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And again,
Speaking of,
do we need to add them to the
rundown?
The basketball. Yeah, we've got region tournaments.
We've got
state
region
tournament,
tournaments.
whatever.
Yeah, well, Region 7. So Columbia State women play tomorrow night at 8 over at Dyersburg against Cleveland State. The Lady Chargers are the number 6 seed. Columbia State men play Sunday at 6. They are the number 2 seed. They will play the winner of the Cleveland State-Jackson State game that tips off here in about a half hour over in Dyersburg. Let's see. I'm looking.
Half hour as we are recording.
My bad.
Normally we're live. I get it. You're fine. But, baseball and softball.
But I'm looking for
also,
baseball and softball, and I know I've got them.
Whenever softball is, count me in. But
baseball today is playing Grand Rapids right now. It's a 12 o'clock doubleheader, so they'll probably be done by the time you hear this, since we are live to tape. Softball played Kalamazoo. It was a 2 o'clock start. Tomorrow they are in Albertville, Alabama for the Snead Invitational starting at 10 in the morning. And then they don't play again until they go to Bevel on March 1st. So.
March 1st in Summerton, Alabama, home of Chris Yao. They will literally be playing
the 2006 Man of the Year, Time Man
of the Year. Yes,
that's right. Yes. We're going to put that on the sign.
Did
I put it on the water tower?
Did I see that in your
Twitter bio? Yes,
Twitter bio.
You did, in fact. No, seriously, from Bevel State softball field, you can see my high school. You can see the school. You can see the school I went to 2nd grade through 8th grade, and then you can see the high school as well. So, yeah. If you want to go down and watch Columbia State in Summits, and I can hook you up with some recommendations.
Well,
There are 3 restaurants in town.
That's what I was going to ask you. For those that want to go down, where should they dine, sir?
Well, normally I would tell you, like Green Top Barbecue, but it caught on fire a couple weeks ago, so it's not open.
So we're down to 2.
They've got their.
Was it a barbecue-related fire?
It was. It was. The pit caught on fire.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
Was there meat lost?
There was, in fact, and that's the worst part.
Oh, God.
Other than that, I'm not sure that Lee's Restaurant might be the only other place in town to eat.
Where's my bacon?
It is in my refrigerator. I didn't want to bring it because I didn't know anyway.
That's okay. I forgot my cooler anyway.
If you're looking for good bacon, Smith Farms. They'll hook you up. Just look it up, Smith Farms.
Thank us later.
Unsolicited. That's how good it is.
It really is. It cost me $60-something for 5 pounds, but you know what? It was well worth it. It's the best bacon I've had in a long time. The last time we got it.
Best bacon.
That's going to do it for today's show. Thanks to all our guests. We had a ton of them. And thank you guys for sticking around through the sausage-making process. It's been a lot of fun. Hope you guys will come back on Monday as we recap the weekend and give you all the reactions from all the things. It's going to be a lot of fun. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. For Mo and JP, I'm Chris Yao saying have a great day. We'll see you then.